Not sure if you guys know this, but having debt in your life kind of sucks. It's just not a good feeling to know you owe someone money or that you have to make these monthly payments for something you bought 5 years ago. And surprisingly, debt has become so normalized that having a car loan for 5 years is just part of life. But just the fact that you clicked on this video shows that you want to do something different. You don't want to be normal because right now normal means broke. And as a financial coach that works with people one-on-one and also makes content like this, I've been able to help hundreds of people pay off tens of thousands of dollars of debt, whether it's through inspiring content or from the one-on-one coaching. So in this video, I want to share with you the methods that these people have used to pay off thousands of dollars of debt in such a short time span. The only thing is, before I share with you these methods, I do need to go back and tell you how to free up some cash so that you can speed up this whole process. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. Part 1 of this video is finding money to pay off your debt. If you're looking for extra cash or just extra margin in your life so that you can throw it at these debt payments and pay more than just the minimum amount, you have to start off by cutting your expenses. This is the most immediate and the quickest way to start freeing up cash. And of course, that's the most generic answer possible, and I'm gonna tell you how you can actually do it. The first thing you need to do is realize what expenses you're able to cut out of your life, and that can only come from doing a thorough audit of your personal spending. When I first wanted a feel for how I spent my money, I went through my old bank statements and looked at the last 3 months. Doing this will give you a very real look into where your income is going every single month. And I know you're working super hard, and at the end of every single month right now, you're just wondering, where the heck did my paycheck go? So by assessing all of your transactions for the last 3 months, you're gonna figure out how much of your money is going towards dining out, how much money is going towards your personal expenses, and how much money has been going towards League of Legends skins. Right now, 58% of Americans are not actively tracking their income, and honestly, I think it's realistically higher than that. But doing this is the equivalent to weighing yourself if your goal is to lose weight. You have to start tracking it now so that your progress can be measured. And once you've gotten a feel for your spending, you're gonna wanna continue tracking your expenses, but now you'll do that with your budget. By creating a budget, you are making a written plan for your income in the upcoming months, all right? We looked at the past, now we're focused on planning for the future. And so I make a zero-based budget, and what I do with that is I take my income that I'm expecting for the next month, and I'm using that top number, the income, and allocating it to all the different categories of my life. So if I know I'm making $7,000 a month, I know that $2,000 of that is going towards my rent and utilities. I know that $500 is going towards my groceries, and I know that $200 of it will go towards my entertainment. And as part of this planning, you're also going to plan how much money you're gonna put towards your debt. But this is where it gets tricky. If you realize there's not enough money to put towards your debt, and especially not enough money to pay more than your minimum payments, then that's when it's time to start cutting certain expenses. The easiest way to start cutting your expenses is by lowering those fixed monthly payments. Things that you have to pay every single month that are usually automated, subscriptions that have a monthly payment plan, insurance that you have to pay monthly, cell phone bills that go out of your paycheck on the first of the month. Those are the things that are the easiest to start cutting down on. In the case of subscriptions, you can eliminate a few streaming services if you have 5 going on right now. You can also cut out some of those memberships that are unused. Like if you haven't used your gym membership since January 1st, now's probably the time to cut that expense and start working out at home. For insurance, I'm sure you can shop around and find a different provider that'll give you a lower monthly premium. And then in the case of cell phone bills, T-Mobile doesn't care if you stick around. No one's gonna care if you switch from T-Mobile to Cricket, all right? But by lowering those automated monthly expenses, you're automatically saving money every single month. And then from there, that's when you can start cutting those little expenses that are adding up over time. Avoid the walks around Target. I know you're not just walking in there. Avoid the Starbucks coffee. This is where the little things do actually matter. Once you've made those immediate changes, you can further increase the margin in your life by increasing your income. With the people I've coached, the fastest way they've been able to increase their income is just by taking more hours at their current full-time job. It's not starting a side hustle or starting a side business. Those things take a lot of upfront time and even upfront costs before you can even get started. If taking extra hours at your current job is not an option, then the next best thing is to just get a part-time job so that you can quickly begin earning money. And once again, there's no upfront time or money that you need to put into it. When I was in college going to school full-time, one of the best part-time jobs that I could pick up that was really flexible with my schedule was delivering pizzas. Shout out to Papa John's. Part 2, how to pay off your debt. Before we go into shoveling as much money as we can to our debt payments, there's one crucial step you need to take so that you don't fall back into debt. And that is first building up a small emergency fund. For single people and couples, it might just be saving $1,000. For smaller families, a small emergency fund might look like $5,000 or enough money to cover your deductibles in your insurance plans. The reason people who pay off debt first do this prerequisite step is because there's no point in trying to pay off your debt, because what happens if an emergency does happen? And we know they're gonna happen. It's not gonna help for you to pay for that emergency with a credit card, and that's literally the debt you're trying to pay off. So create just a little cushion between you and life so that you don't have to fall back into debt if your tires explode. Now, eventually you're gonna beef up this emergency fund, but just not yet. Now is the time to start attacking your debt. The most effective way to pay off multiple debts has been used by millions of Americans already, and it's not based on math. It's based on behavior. And as humans, behaviors, emotions, psychology, that is everything when it comes to our finances. If we were doing math in the first place, we wouldn't be in debt in the first place. That's why the method I've seen most successful amongst people who have fallen into credit card debt, personal loans, car loans, all that has been the debt snowball method. The debt snowball method is just as it sounds. This method starts with you listing out all your debts from the smallest balance to the largest balance and ignoring the interest rates completely. Most people who care about the math will argue that higher interest debts are what needs to be focused on first so that you're not paying more in interest. But if you're talking to real people who have fallen into real credit card debts and loans, it's not about changing their procedure, it's about changing their behavior. And with any kind of behavior change, most people need small wins. And small wins means momentum. Imagine if the highest interest debt someone had was a personal loan of $12,000. That is a lot more daunting compared to a $500 credit card debt. And for a lot of people, just taking a few weeks to hammer out that $500 credit card debt could be the small win they need to just keep going so that eventually they'll be able to pay off that $12,000 personal loan. So back to the debt snowball, all your debts are listed from smallest balance to largest. And what you do is you make all the minimum payments on all these debts. Don't let anything go by, but then with any extra income you have, you throw the rest of it at that smallest balance debt. Now you have one objective and one focus, and that is to pay off that smallest debt. And once you knock it out, you take that money that's now freed up and throw it at the next smallest debt. According to Ramsey Solutions, the average family will pay off $5,300 worth of debt in just the first 90 days of using this method. I know it works. I've seen people use this method and it works, and I know millions of other people have used the debt snowball method to pay off all their debts. But if you really think you have the financial discipline and you do want to follow the math, of course, use the debt avalanche method. That's what it's called. I'll put a link in the description so that you guys can check out this other way to pay off your debt. Part number 3, the post-debt framework. Now that you've completely deleted your high interest debts, and honestly, hopefully all of your debts, now is the time to beef up that emergency fund that you started and turn it into a full emergency fund. This step might take several months to accomplish, but there's something beautiful about having enough money saved up to be able to cover 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. At this point, you have removed yourself from the hamster wheel, and now you are no longer living paycheck to paycheck, because literally, if you lost your job right now, you'd be able to survive for the next 3 to 6 months. And once again, going back to behavior, something happens in your mind when you have that kind of cushion between you and life. Now you're no longer making decisions for the now. You can make decisions for your future, and you can even use this newfound freedom to maybe explore a career you enjoy, or maybe start taking your family out for vacation. Comment down below where you are in your debt payoff journey or your wealth building journey. I'd love to hear all the stories. And if you haven't already, make sure to join my community, the Frugal Rich community. It's a free Facebook group where we can share our wins, ask our questions, and just have a safe place to enjoy other people who want a simple path to abundance. And while you're at it, watch this next video where I talk to you about the frugal habits that have helped me save $100,000. Peace.